Hello guys, we're here today with another very interesting deck profile. We're here today with some blue eyes. Yes, some more blue eyes. This is more of an XZ build, which doesn't make sense because we're running more synchros than we are XZs, but this is the Hieratic build, and honestly, this deck is honestly pretty good, and just like it can do some really nice combos and honestly put your opponent in a tough spot, mostly due to Soul Charge. Like if Soul Charge was at 3, this deck would be running all 3 of it, because this deck can make a Crystal Wing and then make a number 38, and that can really put your opponent in quite a tough position. And so let's just go in right into the deck profile. We're running 3 blue eyes, and these are the artworks that I like the best. So the original, and then these 2 alternate arts, and then along with that we're running 2 Dragon Spirit of Right. This is a decent amount of level 8 monsters, and sometimes Dragon Spirit of White will clog, and you definitely want to have 3 of the original blue eyes. You definitely want to have 3 of those normal monsters. And then we also have a Labrador Dragon, which is a Dragon Tuner, so you can use it for cards of consonants. And then of course the Red Eyes, which you can summon off of Autumn and then continue plays. And then for your Hieratic engine, we're running 2 Sue, 3 Tefnuit, 2 Nabit, and then 2 Acid. So that means there's 5 monsters in this deck that you can just plop down on the field. The 3 Tefnuit and Acid can be normal summoned without attributing, and then of course all the other Sue and Nefbit can be special summoned by attributing an Hieratic monster. And then he can he can tribute a Hieratic monster from your hand and pop up monster your opponent controls, and then Sue can pop back row. It's not really that necessary because this deck does have some really good ways to get around back row, such as White Spirit, Spirit of White, being able to banish back row. And so that is it for Hieratic engine, besides the 3 Hieratic Seal Convocation, just being able to search them. 3 Maxi, this is a deck that wants to go second. Again, there's no effect failure, no Yu-Gi-Oh! Sagi, nothing in this main deck, no hand traps whatsoever, so this is an empty threat. If your opponent can go for game, they can. And if they can realize that you're not running any of those stuff, then they will. And so it's nice because you're going second, and if your opponent tries to make a field and you open up with it, you might start the game with 7 or maybe even 8 cards. Or just be able to get a couple more cards, because this deck doesn't really like card of demise, and so the Maxi works out pretty well. And then for our other level 1 tuners, we have 3 Whitestone, Ancient Whitestone, and 3 Whitestone Alleged, just to help with like our draw power, just being able to ditch these guys, and like Whitestone being able to switch out a Blue Eyes, or this guy being able to summon out Dragon Spirit of White to banish a back row. And the fact that Ancient White Dragon can banish himself, and then be able to add a Dragon Spirit White or Blue Eyes to your hand, and so that means your trade-ins, they're always live. You should be able to get off all 3 trade-ins, even if you like make Galaxy Eyes and are able to dump all of those monsters. So you will be able to get off all 3 trade-ins because of this card, and so that's really nice. And then for spell cards, Regeki, like I said, Hieratic Seal, our Heavy Storm, which is really nice. Wingbeat, a Giant Dragon, just being able to blow out back row, and the fact that you can return Tefnuit and then just plop them down on the field again. It's just such an awful combo. And then trade-in, of course, and cards of consonants, they're those guys. And then we also have 2 Duality, because sometimes these cards will clog, or maybe the dragons will clog, and you want to get to your combo pieces, either get to Hieratic Seals or get to these guys, or your tuners or your dragons. And so the duality helps go through your deck. You need to be skillful when playing duality, because of course this deck does a lot of special summoning, and you need to decide, alright, should I wait until I'm set up my field before I use duality, or should I use duality now, take a turn, and maybe be able to make an even bigger field? So you have to do you just gotta think a little bit about a little more ahead of the game. And then of course Soul Charge is just amazing, being able to summon out your Hieratics again, go for more plays, summon out a Red Eyes or something. It's absolutely amazing. And don't forget, Wingbeat, a Giant Dragon, can return Red Eyes, so you can summon him off of Autumn, use his effect to summon a monster, then use Wingbeat, and then summon him out again by banishing Autumn, and then summon out another monster. So you should have 2 level 8s or maybe 2 level 6s. And that is it for the main deck. Again, it's all about draw power and just getting to your Hieratic monsters, like summoning them out, and then being able to summon out your Blue Eyes or summoning out your Labrador Dragon, so that way you can either go for a rank 6 play, or you can go for Ultimate tzolkin. It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation on what I want to go for. whether I want to go for Autumn or if I think it'd be better to go for rank 8 play, or maybe make Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, because this guy is in Armades, I believe. Is it? Oh no, it's not in Armades. I don't know why I thought it was. But it does have an effect at the end of the damage step to banish stuff. Anyways, so let's go into the extra deck like Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. I can make up to 2 attacks on monsters each battle phase, cannot be destroyed by battle, and if the opponent's monster is still there, then you can banish it. Pretty simple stuff. And then Ultimate tzolkin, it's synchro summon this guy, kind of like an XC summon. You get out 2 monsters of the same level, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. Send them to the graveyard, and you pop this guy down. Every time you set a card, such as your dualities, he can summon out a level 7 or 8 Dragon type synchro monster or a Power Tool synchro monster. So all monsters that we can summon is Crystalline, Ignister, and Stardust. I have chosen these 3 to be able to summon out because I like these guys a lot. Being able to negate any monster effect is really nice. If you're going up against Pendulums, this guy can just really annoy your opponent, because you can either destroy their monsters or destroy their scales and then send that stuff back. So this guy's definitely really nice. And then Stardust, being able to negate stuff that destroys, is really useful overall. And if you want, you could take out some of our Azure Eyes and Blue Eyes Spirit Dragons and throw in some more Ultimate tzolkin targets. And then we have Azure Eyes and Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Definitely very useful, being able to negate stuff in the graveyard with Spirit Dragon, and then being able to summon out Azure Eyes, and then Azure Eyes being able to summon out stuff like that. So if you guys can make this, which is honestly, these guys are probably the hardest 2 monsters to get out, because you can't summon these guys off the Hieratics. Definitely these guys are very useful. It wouldn't be a bad idea to put them down to 1 each, but having them at 2 might not be bad, because having an Azure Eyes out and having a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is definitely useful, especially if you're going up against Pendulums. And so that is it for our synchros. Onto our XCs. For the Galaxy monsters, we have just the 107, and then the full armor Photon Dragon being able to destroy something, and then the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon being able to send 3 dragon monsters to the graveyard. Really amazing. And your opponent, of course, has to banish 3 of their monsters from the deck, and then being able to attack up to this. And then being able to detach a card to make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase is really nice. It's 4,000 attacks, so it's just more OTK stuff. I mean, you destroyed a monster. If your opponent has a monster, he's going to get hit by a 4,000 meter, and you probably have other stuff as well. And then number 38, being able to negate a spell or a spell effect and being able to add it as material, and being able to switch your opponent's attack to this card is definitely very useful. Overall, just like, oh, you want to attack into my Clearwing or something like that, I don't know why you would attack into Clearwing for, then I can switch it. And then of course Autumn, being able to summon out any dragon monster from your deck is extremely useful, and then being able to place on top of them Gaia Dragon for another dragon, and being able to inflict piercing to your opponent. And so that is it for the deck. Other cards, if you want to throw in a legendary Manju Garzette, that's not a bad idea, because he is level 8. You special summon him by tributing all monsters on your side of the field, so that's definitely a very useful stuff. But then again, you're probably not going to get out a whole bunch of Hieratics, but even if you just tribute out 1, being able to summon out a Blue Eyes from your deck or a White Spirit Dragon from your graveyard is definitely very useful. And don't forget that White Spirit Dragon's effect to banish a spell trap card can be activated more than once. Every time you special summon him, he will activate his effect. Special or normal summon him, that is. So that's something to think about. So again, this deck has some great back row destruction, has some great monsters, and can just make a really strong field. And if Soul Charge ever went up, this deck would become absolutely amazing. So yeah, that is it for this deck. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.